The heart is considered to be the most important of all the internal organs. Sometimes it is described as the ruler, emperor, or monarch of the internal organs. The heart is located in the thorax above the diaphragm. It is surrounded by the pericardium. The heart is the house of the mind, the master of the blood, and the governor of the vessels. Among the 5 elements, it belongs to fire. Complemented by the other yang organs, it has the function of controlling all the vital activities of the body. Therefore, the plain question states, the heart is the lord of all organs. It is where the spirit arises. Physiological functions of the heart. The heart's main functions are to govern blood and blood vessels and to house the mind. First of all, the heart is the governor of blood and blood vessels. Mastery over blood has 2 meanings. Firstly, the heart takes part in the formation of blood. Secondly, the heart promotes the circulation of blood. The heart beats continually, propelling the blood through the vessel so that all the organs and tissues receive nutrients and can maintain their normal vital activities. This is why the heart is known as the organ of motive force for blood circulation. In traditional medicine, it is the heart's qi that enables its normal beating and that provides the motive force for the blood circulation. The blood that is controlled by the heart is called heart blood. Mastery over blood vessels also has 2 meanings. Firstly, structurally the heart is connected to the blood vessels. Secondly, the vessels are the passages through which blood is propelled by the heart. These vessels deliver the blood to all parts of the body. The heart controls the vigor of this flow, and the degree of this vigor can be judged directly from changes in the pulse profile. These 2 functions of the heart are intimately and inseparably related. Only when the heart qi is sufficient, the heart can keep the blood flowing normally within the vessels. Second, the heart is the governor of the mind. This function is also known as the heart housing the mind. In traditional medicine, the term vitality has a broader meaning and a narrower meaning. In the broader meaning, it is the outward activities of the life of the whole body. It encompasses the body's complete form and function, including its complexion, expression of the eye, speech, response, movement of limbs and trunk, etc. In the narrow sense, vitality is the mind that is governed by the heart. It encompasses the spirit, consciousness, thinking, and related activities. In traditional medicine, mental activity are attributed to the physiological function of all 5 of the yang viscera. The plain question states, the heart houses the mind, the lung houses the soul, the liver houses the arterial soul, the spleen houses intention, the kidney houses the will. Through the activities of the mind have to do with all the 5 of the yang organs. Principally, they are controlled by the heart. Apart from the influence of Asian philosophical thought, this conclusion is mainly based on clinical experience. First, blood is the material support for mental activities. Second, mental disorders are usually cured by methods of treating the heart. The heart's physiological functions of governing the mind and governing the blood and blood vessels are closely interrelated. Because blood is the material support for mental activities, when blood is full, the mind is nourished. Only then the mental activities are normal, so that the person is alert, consciousness is healthy, thinking is quick, and responses are prompt. The body then maintains a healthy balance with the external world. And now we're going to discuss the relationship of the heart to other organs and tissues. First, governance of blood vessels manifests in phase. As mentioned above, the heart controls the flow in the blood vessel, which are the pathways for the movement of qi and blood, so that both move in an orderly fashion and follow designated rules in order to deliver nutrients to the entire body. Only when the heart qi is strong, the normality of the physiological function of heart blood can be maintained. Traditional medicine believes that the fullness or deficiency of the essential qi of the viscera can be revealed in the exterior of the body. This is known as the outward appearance of quintessence. The 5 Tạng organs, each having its manifestation. Manifestation in the face means that changes in color and luster of the complexion reflect the fullness and deficiency of qi and blood. If hot qi and hot blood are abundant, the complexion will be lustrous and moistened. Conversely, if hot qi and hot blood are deficient, the complexion will be pallid and lusterless. If hot blood is static, then the complexion will be cyanotic. If there is heat in the blood, the complexion will be red. Second, opening orifice in tongue. The tongue is like a mirror that can reflect the heart's condition and functional state. A collateral meridian of the heart meridian of Han Sao Yin extends into the root of the tongue. The heart's qi and blood pass through the meridians and reach the tongue, thereby maintaining the tongue's normality and functions. The tongue has 2 main functions, taste and assisting in the production of speech. Both functions depend on the heart's function of governing blood vessels and governing the mind. For example, if the heart's qi and blood are abundant, the tongue will be supple and agile, speech clear and fluent, and taste keen. If qi and blood are insufficient, the tongue will be pale and taste blended. If hot fire flames up, the tip of the tongue will be bright red, and the tongue may have ulcers or sores. If hot blood is static, the tongue will be dusky and covered with sores. There are also other heart relationships. The color of the heart is red, the taste of the heart is bitter, the climate of the heart is heat, and the sound of the heart is laughing. And now, let's take a look at dreams. Since the heart houses the mind, it is very closely related to sleep and dream. The mind should reside in the heart, and if the heart, particularly heart blood, is strong, a person will fall asleep easily, and the sleep will be sound. If the heart is weak, especially heart blood, the mind has no residence, and it will flow at night, causing an inability to fall asleep, disturbed sleep, or excessive dreaming. All dreams, therefore, in a way, are related to the heart. Certain dreams, however, are more directly indicative of a heart disharmony. Now, let's summarize what I have discussed today. The heart is considered to be the most important of all the internal organs. Complemented by the other Tạng organs, it has the function of controlling all the vital activities of the body. The heart's main functions are to govern blood and blood vessels and to house the mind. The heart governs blood vessels, manifesting in face and opens into the tongue. There are also other heart relationships. The color of the heart is red, the taste of the heart is bitter, the climate of the heart is heat, and the sound of the heart is laughing. Since the heart houses the mind, it is very closely related to sleep and dream. And that's all I want to say about the heart. Thank you so much for watching, and see you next time.